Hello, welcome to another edition of the CNA's Opus. My name is Rich. I'm a certified nursing assistant. And what I want to talk about today is the drug Idelalisib. And Idelalisib is the treatment for one of the treatments for chronic lymphocytic leukemia. And I want to just show you a little bit on how it works. Right here, you'll see Idelalisib, and right down here, this is the catalytic portion of PI3-AKT-mTOR pathway, and right over here is the regulatory portion. So kind of the regulatory portion kind of inhibits it a little bit, or blocks its action a little bit. The reason being is because you don't want the catalytic portion here to have a basal activity, meaning you don't want it just hitting the cell wall randomly and turning phosphonacetide 4,5-biphosphate into phosphonacetide 3,4,5 triphosphate. So you don't want it doing that. You want it activated at a certain site, and that's why it has that regulatory portion right there. It's the regulatory portion right here, P85, which will bind to receptor tyrosine kinase, and then it will activate the catalytic portion. Now you see a lot of numbers here like P85, P110, and you hear a lot about P53, particularly if you do looking into cancer, you're going to hear a lot about P53. And what these numbers represent is its mass, not weight, because weight is something different, but its mass in kilodaltons. So basically, a dalton is equivalent to 1 proton in mass. We have scale here in mass. What this is saying, this 85 here, is saying this is equivalent to 85,000 protons in mass on a scale, on an equivalency scale. So that's what those numbers mean. They're just not random numbers thrown out there. Now, with Idelalisib, the white blood cells have a slightly different genotype. They have a slightly different genotype, and that's a fact. And one of the things that's different here in white blood cells is that it has a different catalytic subunit of PI3-AKT-mTOR pathway, or PI3 kinase, right here. This catalytic portion is P110 gamma or P110 delta in white blood cells only. So it makes it different from the rest of the body. Also, its regulatory portion is either P87 or P101, not P85. So the mass of its regulatory portion over here is also slightly different. And that variation, the thing with personalized medicine is that something will attack the variation, whether it's a variation that natural selection had created on its own, or it's a variation that man-made. But either way, a variation is there that's different from the rest of the body that a drug can target. So they found this, I don't know who found, but I'm just going to say they, because I don't know the guy's name, but or girl's name, and it probably was a female. It probably was. Is she found in white blood cells here that the P110 delta Idelalisib was a drug that targets the variation right here, which is P110 delta, which is only in white blood cells and not in the rest of the body. So it shuts off the PI3-AKT-mTOR pathway, which is needed for translation of messenger RNA. So that shut off, the cell is going to be in really big trouble. And it's that variation that was found that was able to be targeted right there. And that is P110 delta which again is only found in white blood cells and not the rest of the body. So the idea is to kill the cancer cell and not the rest of the body. Just like I had said yesterday in the previous video on the monoclonal antibodies attacking the Atherogogo, what was that? Atherogogo 1, that's KB 10.1 tetramer. So because that had there's a variation there that can be attacked and kill the cancer cells and not kill the rest of the bodies. So that variation has to be found, and that is personalized medicine. So that right there is Idelalisib on chronic lymphocytic leukemia. And I'm Rich, CNA. See you later.